Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. And from today onwards, we are starting this systematic sessions on learning Bhagavad Gita. So we discussed last week on a pre-introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. Today we will delve into the Bhagavad Gita. But before that, let's do a short kirtan and we'll get started. Even before going to the short kirtan, I know, like, okay, in this material world, as Lalu Baku was mentioning, okay, just prior to starting this, we all want happiness. We all want to be, um, uh, we all want to possess those things which give us happiness. And like, for instance, wealth. Wealth is something that gives us happiness. But what is the use of the wealth if that does not give peace of mind, if that gives a lot of anxiety? So, uh, so why we are delving into this? Because Bhagavad Gita is that topic, like, where we can, when we delve into the topics of Bhagavad Gita, it gives us peace of mind, as Alupuk was mentioning, and we want to advance spiritually, okay, which gives us spiritual strength. So from today on, from today onwards, we are venturing into this new journey, going into the topics of Bhagavad Gita, understanding this in detail. And as we go through this, I would request you to have the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which I showed last time, this book. And and as we go through this, I wanted to read this because when we go through these topics, we will be covering various aspects within this Bhagavad Gita. And when you read this, you'll be able to understand this. It'll become easier, and you'll be able to absorb these topics. So let's start with the Kirtan, and then we can uh, get started. Very simple, Kirtan, and I request that, okay, you can keep yourself on mute, but you can also sing along as you are. For those who are on video, I can see you. For those who are not on video, I can't see you. But let's do it together, okay? And just sing it from your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, कलियुग पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि को। Hare Krishna. So I am very, very grateful to all of you for joining. Thank you, everyone. And I see Vatsal Prabhu is also here. Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I was just sharing that uh, we are venturing into a journey with Bhagavad Gita into a deeper dive study. Last week we discussed on the sorry, I'm just trying to put the charge to the laptop. So we are venturing into a deeper dive on the Bhagavad Gita, and as we go through this, we will have a lot of learnings like from our study from whatever Srila Prabhupada shared with us, and I wanted to share something like which will be more like an audio visual kind of presentation where we could learn together. And as we do this, I would request you to go ahead and study the Bhagavad Gita, those sections that we cover, so that you can also understand this. So, having said that, these let's get started. And these, as I mentioned already, these would be based on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and I seek blessings of Srila Prabhupada, seek blessings of all the current acharyas and the previous acharyas to be dust at their lotus feet. And I'm just very, very insignificant. But then I thought that this would be a nice thing that where we can all go through the study together and get into their deeper realizations, understanding how we can apply these things in our life, and ultimately how we can attain the loving devotional service at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So let's uh, let's get started. So we spoke just to recap a little bit on what we covered in our last session. Um, in our last session, we discussed about briefly about the life of Srila Prabhupada. So if you remember, and I'll just go ahead and share this so that like, we can just recap a little bit from what we shared in our last session. Okay. Is my screen visible?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, maybe one moment here. Okay, okay. Let me know if my screen is now visible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you see the uh, like the five pictures on the screen? Because I have two screens. I just want to make sure you're seeing the right one.
Yeah, yes, five pictures.
Okay. So basically, like, okay, we spoke about like the life of Srila Prabhupada. So briefly to run through that, like, okay, Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee of the Lord. And right from the very beginning of his childhood, he was very much Krishna conscious. And at the young age, he was um, he was doing this Jagannath Rath Yatra. And then when he uh, when he was a young man at that time, he got initiated by his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, second picture that you see. Then he started spreading this message. He got this instruction from his guru to spread the uh, Krishna consciousness message, the message of the Bhagavad Gita, the message of the Bhagavatam in English language. And he started spreading this. He started discussing about this. He started publishing periodicals, and then like, discussing in different forums about this divine science. So as time passed, Srila Prabhupada was sharing, and then there came a time okay, at the ripe age of 69, okay, when most people take retirement. At that time, Srila Prabhupada, okay, he boarded the Jaladuta. Okay. Jaladuta is a ship okay, in which he traveled to the United States. And at that time, okay, he he came to New York and he stayed at a very at a very one of those slums area, Bowery, because he did not come with any arrangement like okay, on his comfortable life. And in New York, like, okay, there is uh, in one of the parks, like, okay, he sang this tune, like, okay, Hare Krishna, the one that we sang today. Okay. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This with this simple tune, okay, he started attracting hundreds and thousands of people actually. And then initially, when Srila Prabhupada came in for the first 1 year, he struggled. There was not much success there. But then later, by by the mercy of Krishna, okay, things there was an explosion of this Hare Krishna revolution. And through the kirtan, like he would give lectures, he would make prasad. Okay, there was a lot of attraction okay, to this Krishna consciousness in the Westerners, and the hippies they became happies. Okay, and and if you see the videos like okay, during those times, like okay, even the Americans like they started wearing dhoti kurtas, they started wearing saris like the females. So and a lot of influential persons also started getting attracted to this. Like if you see in the one of the pictures, like here George Harrison is there. Like, he's from the Beatles group, very famous Beatles group. So George Harrison was attracted like Prabhupada, which would preach to scholars, he would preach to scientists, okay, and he would challenge them, okay, on scientific questions, and he would tell them about Krishna consciousness. So and this Bhagavad Gita that we're talking about, like more than 50 crore Bhagavad Gita has been distributed. It is by far the like there is no other spiritual literature that has been distributed to this kind of tune actually. So that is what we are talking about okay, in these sessions actually. So now let us see what I mean are are we going to get through these? So when Srila Prabhupada had these, like he was interviewed, like he was questioned left and right, like, okay, but he was so crystal clear in the understanding of the application of Bhagavad Gita, of how Bhagavad Gita would benefit everyone. So he was able to communicate with people of all classes so that like, okay, they were able to accept it. Like, okay. So now let us come to so if you see in the book Bhagavad Gita as it is, there is this section for the introduction. What are we covering through this introduction? Let us take a look. Okay. So in this introduction to this Bhagavad Gita, it covers the spirit in which the Bhagavad Gita has has should be approached. This is very, very important. This introduction section is not to be ignored. It is very important. The spirit in which the Bhagavad Gita should be approached. What is the purpose of this Bhagavad Gita? What is the subject matter of this Gita? How can we understand? What is the process of understanding? What is the result of understanding this knowledge? And how to practically apply this knowledge? Now, this presentation okay, has been made by one of my very senior god brother, very, very exalted devotee. Okay, and I thought like, it will benefit all of us like, as we go through this journey. So, so, um, so as we move along, like, okay, let's in this particular session we will try to address the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, and if time permits, then we'll touch upon the purpose of the Gita. Okay. So let's move along. So in if we try to look at the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, so there are uh, we have to understand five things, very very important. Okay, that is, what are those? That is Bhagwan, Bhak, Bhakta, that is devotee, and then Bhakta. These are five B's. Like I'm just trying to tell it in an easy way so that we can remember. Bhagwan, Bhakta, what is Bhakti, and then what is Bhagavad Gita, and then fifth one is Bhumi. Bhumi is like the place. Okay, these five things. Okay, they comprise like, okay, what we need to understand the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita. So if we look at this, um, Bhagwan refers to uh, Krishna. Okay, he is the Supreme Lord Bhagwan. Okay, now how do we know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord Bhagwan? So, uh, if it has been in numerous scriptures, like it has been said, like okay, Krishna is the Adi Purush. Like okay, at times, like okay, when no one existed, he's called Adi Purush because when no one existed and when no one will exist at that point of time, Krishna existed. Like, okay, even sun and moon did not exist because Krishna was the one who instructed sun god about the science of Bhagavad Gita, and and Krishna was the one who instructed Brahma about the science of Bhagavad Gita. So let us see here when we are now in Kali Yuga, when Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, like when all these four yugas are done, at that time, like, there is a pralay that happens. There is a complete destruction that happens. So last time when there was pralay that was happening, Markandeya Rishi, he was swimming like, and there was like the water, and he was not at peace actually. Obviously, there was anxiety and like, okay, he could see destruction all around. And when he was swimming in that water, he saw a young boy, like, okay, very sweet boy, blue colored boy, like, okay, he was out there and he was trying to chew his footnail, the basically the toe of his feet, and he was wondering, who is this beautiful boy? Okay, and as soon as he saw that boy, all his anxiety was gone actually, and he was looking at this beautiful form. So this this particular incident, Markandeya Rishi is narrating to the Pandavas. So he and as and as he was doing this, like at that point of time, like, okay, he felt like, okay, the boy, little boy, he inhaled, and Markandeya Rishi saw that, okay, he got sucked into the belly of the boy, and into the belly of the boy also there was complete that same oceanic uh, uh, the destruction that he was saying. He could see that. So he was amazed. Like, okay, the belly of this little boy is so huge. How is it? And then, like, okay, the then the ex then uh, uh, then the little boy, he exhaled. That is Krishna actually. He exhaled, and then Markandeya Rishi was out, and then he's the little boy spoke that, my dear Markandeya Rishi, my dear little boy, you you are like, please accept my all blessings, and I give you ichha mrityu, and I give you unfailing memory by which that is maranam, okay, by which you can remember these past times. And then Markandeya Rishi then narrates this, like, okay, at the time, like, okay, in Dwapar Yuga, he narrates this to the Pandavas. He says that, okay, oh, don't think that this Krishna is any ordinary person. He is the Adi Purush. Okay, he was existing when nothing was there, and at the time of Pralay, I saw him, okay, like this, and all these millions of devtas, all the millions of sages, all the bhaktas, they all worship him. So this he may appear like a normal person, but he is not a normal person. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then Bhishma Dev, like when he was in the Shen, at that time, like, okay, Yudhishthir Maharaj approached him, okay, to get basically guidance from him because he was about to leave his body. He was the senior most in the family, and at that time, Bhishma said, he told Yudhishthir Maharaj that, don't think that, okay, this Krishna who is with you, he just appears like your cousin, but he is not just any regular person. His body is Sachidanand Vigraha, and he is the Adi Narayan. He is the personality, like, okay, and by Adi Narayan he means that, okay, he is the original Narayan actually, And from him, like, okay, all the different plenary expansions they came in. So there are 24 24 incarnations, primary incarnations of Krishna, of which like we know the Dashavatar, but then all of them originate from Krishna. So like that, Brahmaji is telling Yudhishthir Maharaj. And then like, okay, we can see that there is there are this, we know this Purushottam, we know we call Lord Narayana as Purushottam, then we have Maryada Purushottam. Maryada Purushottam is Sri Ramchandra, and Purna Purushottam is the complete Purushottam is Sri Krishna. So that is how like in different personalities, like okay, that same personality comes like he expands into different, but the original personality is Krishna. So that's how Lord Brahma, he's telling like okay, in the Brahma Samhita, he says, and you can also repeat with me, although you might be on mute, you can repeat with me. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Brahmaji is saying that Ishwar of Ishwar, like the Parama Ishwar. Ishwar means controller, but the Param of all Ishwar, that means that means the highest of all Ishwar is Krishna, and his body is Satchidananda. Satchidananda means Sat means full of, he's eternal, and Chid means full of knowledge, and Anand means he's always blissful. Anadir, Adir, Govinda, and Anadir means when no one was there and when no one will be there. This Krishna is always present, and he is Sarva Karana Karam. He is the cause of all causes. So Brahmaji is saying that, okay. So basically, Brahmaji also originates from Krishna. That is the position. And if you see here, I don't know if you can hear this. So Krishna, was it audible by the way? Can anyone unmute and share that?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so basically
Yes, whatever.
Krishna was showing that, showing the entire universe in his mouth. When Yashoda Mai asked him, like, okay, show me what is there in your mouth. It was this beautiful pastime where Balram was saying that, okay, Are, this Krishna, he ate mud, and then Yashoda, then Krishna was saying, no, no, I did not eat mud. And then Yashoda Mai asked him, like, show me your mouth. And then he showed the entire universe, the entire creation in his mouth. And Yashoda Mai was very surprised. So you can see the potency of Krishna, like, okay. So he came in, he came in with Arjun. He acted as his Parth Sarathi. Okay, he came in as a chariot driver, actually charioteer of Arjuna. But he is that same Krishna. Okay, he's that same supreme personality of Godhead. And if you see in when Arjuna was being spoken, this Bhagavad Gita, at that time Krishna revealed his greatness. He revealed his most opulent form, like, okay, that is the uh, his Vishwaswarup. Okay, so Vishwarup, like, okay, in that form, he showed that, okay, that everything emanates from him. All the devtas are within him. All the demons are within him. All the entire creation is within him. That is Krishna. So we can understand what is the position of Krishna. So through his opulences, like, okay, they prove that what his supremacy is. Now we'll look into what his opulences are. We spoke about this earlier, but this is just to kind of recap, like, okay, so that we are all on the same page. So uh, when we when we in Bhagavad Gita, this word Bhagwan is used like more than, I think, 25, 26 times. Like, okay. So Bhaga means opulence. Now we say Shaktiman, like, okay, one who has Shakti. We say like, okay, wherever we use this one Dhanwan, like, okay, that means this possess one who possesses like, okay, Dhan. So similarly, Bhagavan means one who possesses Bhaga, and Bhaga means opulence. What are the opulences that Krishna has? Let us look into this. Okay. So even in the material world, we know that okay, some people are have beauty, some people have wealth, some people have knowledge, some people have strength, some people have fame, some people have renunciation. Okay. But can any of them say that okay, I have complete beauty in the world, I have complete wealth in the world? One person, if you see some person is wealthy, there may be someone who is wealthier higher than that. Someone is maybe higher than that. And if we just go to the chain of it, one person may be the wealthiest in the world. But can that person say that okay, I own all the wealth in the creation? No, but that is Krishna. So Krishna is all opulent in beauty, wealth, knowledge, strength, fame, renunciation, and every. He is the complete source of all this, and he possesses all of this actually in full capacity, far beyond what any of us can think of. So that is Bhagwan. So as we said that okay, this is what he he possesses. He's complete. So if you see fame wise, like, okay, 5,000 years since he appeared, we are talking about him. Wealth wise, he had so much wealth. Like, okay, he had 16,108 wives. He built 16,108 palaces for them. And he was personally present in each of the palaces with each of them at every single point of time. And he's the ocean of beauty actually. So there is no one who can surpass Krishna's beauty in terms of knowledge. He's giving Bhagavad Gita, which is being spoken 5,000 years with, which is even relevant as of today. He's renunciate because he does not care about his what he has. He still takes the chariot driver position. And in terms of strength, he lifts the Govardhan hill. What can we say about this? There are many people who claim that okay, oh, I am God, I am God. So then in that case, if anyone claims that okay, I am God, then we should say that okay, okay, show the universe in your belly, okay, show it in your mouth, and go ahead and lift the Govardhan hill. Okay, so then we'll know that okay, who is Bhagwan. Somebody can lift 100 pounds, 200 pounds, but Krishna lifts our Krishna, our very dear Krishna. He lifts the Govardhan hill. That is the capacity of Krishna. So that is how Krishna is. So this is that personality who possesses all the six opulences in complete, in full. So in wealth, people say I'm Lakpati, Arabpati, Karabpati, but our Krishna is he's Lakshmipati. So that is Krishna. So uh, now, okay. So here is something that Krishna says. Okay, my this presentation, I think it stopped here. So Krishna says here,
emanates all the three worlds, both spiritual and mundane. Everything rests in me, Arjun, just as you see pearls hang upon a thread.
so Krishna is saying is, like, okay, just as we see pearls hanging upon a thread, similarly, up on Krishna, the entire creation is resting. Okay, but we may not be able to see Krishna, but we'll be able to experience like what Krishna is doing. So there is always this question that comes up, like, okay, if someone asks, like, okay, is Krishna impersonal or is he personal? Then he's both. He's impersonal and he's personal. So how is he impersonal? See, look at it like this. If if there is a government that is there, right? That government, like, okay, is running the center. Okay, he's running centrally everything. But there are officials of that government at every place. Like, okay, that prime minister or president may not need to be present at every place, but there are his representatives who would be present like, okay, at every part of the country, trying to take care of whatever the government orders are. So that way, that government, the president may be impersonal to the to the common person, but under his action only everything is happening. So that is how. But that doesn't mean that the but by not seeing that particular person, okay, that person, the president becomes impersonal. He is a person. Okay. Similarly, Krishna is also a person. Okay. He can manifest in uh, uh, in in whatever activities are happening. Sometimes, like, okay, we may be able to perceive Krishna's presence, but he is a person. This is very, very important to understand. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that, okay, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Okay, ekam sena sito jagat. So when we understand, okay, what is this personality that we are talking about, and when we are talking about this personality, uh, we have to understand this, that this Lord Krishna's supremacy is accepted by all the acharyas. Who are the different acharyas? Like, let us look at this. This is Srila Vyasdev. He's saying that, okay, ete chamsha kalapumsha Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. So that means that, okay, all the different portions and plenary portions are emanating out of Krishna. But Krishna, you are the Swayam Bhagwan. You are the original Bhagwan. So this is what Srila Vyasdev, who is the author of all the Puranas, Upanishads, okay, he is telling us, okay. And Srimad Bhagavatam is called the Amal Puran, or the spotless Puran. Okay. So, and there are different sages who confirm, okay, Krishna's supremacy. In Bhagavad Gita, uh, this is what Arjun is saying. अहुस्त्वं ऋषय सर्वे देवर्षिर नारदस्तथा असito devalo vyaso swayam chaiva braveshi me. So all the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Deval, and Vyas confirm that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So it is not that Krishna is revealing to Arjuna, and then Arjuna is saying, okay, they have also confirmed that, okay, you are only the supreme personality of Godhead. And then there are great acharyas like the Madhvacharya. He worshipped Udupi Krishna, and still Udupi Krishna is being worshipped in Udupi. And then he, with so much love and devotion, Madhvacharya would worship. Then we have Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya worshipped Ranganath deity. Then we have um, Andal, like, who also worshipped this uh, uh, Ranganath deity. Then we have Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya would worship Badri Vishal. Okay, even till today's date, like, okay, it is worshipped. Many people go for this Dham Yatra. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would worship. He, as soon as he would see Lord Jagannath with tears in his eyes, like, okay, he would go uh, to embrace Lord Jagannath. Like, okay, there is so much love, with so much love and devotion, he worshipped Lord Jagannath. So we can see that all the acharyas have confirmed Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead, Purna Purushottam. So thereby, Srila Prabhupada is saying, why we were going through this is because Srila Prabhupada is establishing through this that, let us read this, like, Lord Shri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept Shri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand the Bhagavad Gita. So one who accepts Shri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, that person can understand the Bhagavad Gita. So, and in what spirit we have to accept the Bhagavad Gita? In a submissive spirit. One who accepts Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, they are able to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Not like, okay, in a challenging spirit or so. Okay, so this should be our theoretical understanding. But as we get deeper into this topic, okay, we will have more clearer understanding. So now we covered the topic of Bhagwan. Now let us look at Bhakta. So we know, for Bhakta, okay, we can see Arjuna. Okay, Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. Okay, and for the devotee, we can see the uh, the reciprocation of Krishna. The reciprocation, Krishna takes the chariot driver position for this bhakta. That is, we can understand he's a devotee of Krishna in such a he's taking that knowledge of Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna reveals in chapter 9 9.1, he says that, okay, you know what, Arjuna, why I am revealing this knowledge to you? Because of two reasons. Because you are a dear friend of mine, and because you are Anasuya. Anasuya means you are non-envious. Okay. Because you are non-envious, you are being revealed this knowledge of Krishna. You are being revealed this divine transcendental science of um, Bhagavad Gita. So that is bhakta. Then we talk about this bhakti yoga. So if because in this bhakti yoga we can see because of Arjuna's bhakti, Krishna became his chariot driver. Uh, we can see when Sudama he came to um, Krishna to we all know the story of Sudama. When he came to meet Krishna, Krishna went and washed his lotus feet. Okay, with so much devotion, Sudama came, and we can understand how much the Lord loves his devotee. Can you imagine? Like, okay, see, if we are at a superior position in a company, okay, can we go ahead and take a subordinate position, washing the lotus feet of even our junior? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is Swayam Bhagwan, but he goes ahead and washes his lotus feet of his devotee. Okay, that is the sweet science of this bhakti yoga. I mean, it cannot be understood by someone like, okay, who has envy in his heart, but like, okay, one who with a very simple heart, one who approaches, when one who tries to understand Krishna, it is way beyond like, okay, what we comprehend in this material world. That is the science of Krishna consciousness. So we spoke about bhakti yoga, and within bhakti yoga, see, like on the right hand side, I am displaying these are 12 personalities. Brahma, then Shambhu. Shambhu is Lord Shiva. Shukdev Goswami, the Chatush Kumar, Kapila, Swayambhuva, Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni, Janak, King Janak, and then Bhishma Dev, then Bali Maharaj, and Yamdev. So these are all 12 Mahajans. These Mahajans have excelled in the science of bhakti, and basically it is said that, okay, if we need bhakti, then we should pray to these Mahajans, because Mahajana yena gata sapanta, in their path if we follow, then we get bhakti. They are the supreme, they are supremely rich in this science of bhakti, and they are the ones like who teach us like, okay, through their examples like, okay, how we should perform bhakti. So moving further, we talked about the uh, bhakti yoga, and in this bhakti yoga, I want to show you one example here. So in this, like, okay, the Lord always delivers his devotees from this ocean of birth and death. Whoever are caught up in entangled in this material world, okay, the Lord always delivers his devotees. You can see here, Gajendra, we talked about this pastime. Why we were doing this background is because so that we could set up like, okay, the background to understand that Bhagavad Gita. So Gajendra is an elephant. His legs have been caught by the crocodile, but he in that mood like, okay, he's trying to offer like, okay, flowers to the Lord like, okay, and he's giving this with so much love that Lord personally comes down from his abode like, okay, to accept like the devotion and to protect Gajendra. That is that is the nature of the Lord, and that is the reciprocation of the Lord and his devotee. So it is, as we understand this Bhagavad Gita, as we go deeper into this, we can understand how we are personally relating to the Lord, how we are personally like, okay, we are trying to understand His mood actually, and how we can reciprocate with Him. Now we talked about three things. We talked about the Bhagwan, we talked about the Bhakta, and we talked about Bhakti. Now let us talk about the fourth topic, Bhagavad Gita. Now you know like, okay, Bhagavad Gita is so much like, okay, nowadays like, okay, the principles of Bhagavad Gita, although it has been spoken to Arjuna like 5,000 years back, but this Bhagavad Gita is actually now being taught in the management schools, okay, everyone is trying to decode these principles and apply them, okay, in various ways. Management schools, in Bhagavad Gita can give us the love for God. Actually, that is the highest thing that Bhagavad Gita can do, and it can also endow us with the love for all living beings around us. Okay, so with that mood, okay, let us uh, let us try to understand this. So you can see that, okay, great scientists, okay, Einstein, even Oppenheimer, okay, many of them, okay, they have commented on this Bhagavad Gita. They can understand that, okay, that this is an authentic spiritual scriptures, okay. Even our great uh, uh, rishis, okay, they have also commented on these, okay. So um, once, like, I will share this pastime, like, once Lord Chaitanya, like, who is Krishna himself, like, who had appeared in this Kali Yuga, is Krishna himself, like, he's appeared, and he was, when he was traveling, like, in southern India, at that time he came across a Brahmin, okay, who was holding the Bhagavad Gita upside down, and he was reading. Everyone else, he could see, like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could see everyone else were just making fun of this guy, okay, and but this guy was crying when he was seeing Bhagavad Gita. Actually, although he was holding it upside down, he was an illiterate Brahmin. So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "My dear sir, why are you in such an ecstatic love? What portion of this Bhagavad Gita gives you such a transcendental pleasure?" So the Brahmana replied that, "Okay, my dear Lord, I am not very learned, and therefore I do not know the meaning of these words. Sometimes I read Bhagavad Gita correctly and sometimes incorrectly, but in any case, I do it because it is the order of my spiritual master. So it has been told by spiritual master that read Bhagavad Gita. So he's following that order, and by that, he's he's even though, like, he may not understand it, but he's trying to read it." So then the Lord asked him that, "Then why are you crying?" So this Brahman told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that whenever I see this Gita, the cover page, okay, I think about the form of Krishna as Parthasarathi, where this he appeared as Arjuna's chariot driver, and that form appears in my heart. And as soon as I see this form, I remember how this Lord is especially kind to his devotees. Okay, and just by thinking that, okay, oh, he is the supreme Lord, and he becomes like a chariot driver. Okay, he is just a driver to his devotee, and he starts crying, like, okay, out of so much love. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that, on seeing this, that, okay, he just embraced him, and he told them, okay, you have actually understood the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, and you have perfected in your recitation. So we can we can understand that there are many uh, I mean, when someone is reading it with devotion, right, that is much higher than if someone is intellectually trying to read it. Okay, so it cannot be, Bhagavad Gita cannot be understood with material intelligence. Okay, if even if we read Bhagavad Gita, we may not be able to get the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, because the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita must be received from the parampara, from the chain of the acharyas or the spiritual masters coming down in disciplic succession. So that is the only way. Otherwise, what will happen is, it may become a futile exercise, actually, of reading this Bhagavad Gita. When we get it from the chain of parampara, okay, how it comes down, okay, then we are able to absorb, we are able to delve into that Bhagavad Gita with that level of devotion. So there are Mayavadis also, like, who consider to be Krishna to be some ordinary person. They also read Bhagavad Gita. Basically, everyone, there are many people who read Bhagavad Gita, but if you see, there are many people who have written Bhagavad Gita, but they deny that Krishna is a spiritual personality. There are few versions of Bhagavad Gita that I read earlier, okay, there Krishna is not even considered as a Lord. So the goal is not to serve the Lord, but to merge into his impersonal supreme Brahman, and to become God. There are a lot of people like that who actually, I when I read this purport, like, I was thinking that, okay, who really wants to be God? Like, okay. And then I came across people in my life who said that, okay, oh, I do meditation because I do meditation so that I'll become God very soon. said, okay, what is this? It doesn't make sense. But Prabhupada is writing in its purport that, okay, there are people who are meditating, like, okay, just to merge into that supreme Brahman and become God. So can you think about, like, okay, this, so their brains, because they're approaching it with an envy, they cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead. So and how this supreme personality of Godhead can become a chariot driver of his devotee to carry on orders. They cannot understand this loving relation between the Lord and his devotee. So, so they what they do is, like, okay, it is just like if we have a honey bottle, these people, they are trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita just like, okay, trying to lick it from outside. So only and only, Srila Prabhupada says it very clearly, okay, only when one becomes a devotee of Lord Krishna, one can understand Bhagavad Gita and is able to really relish on the nectar of Bhagavad Gita. So that is the key to understanding the Bhagavad Gita. It is very, it is very easy to understand, and that way when we accept it, like, okay, it becomes very, very wonderful. So, uh, so Bhagavad Gita, real, it's a real story. I'm just muting everyone just so that there's no background noise. So it's a real conversation, okay, that happens between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and his this dialogue is recorded for us so that even 5,000 years ago, like, okay, 5,000 years ago it was spoken, but we are still able to take this understanding. I also want to share one more thing. Like, see, when we understand like where Krishna is coming from, like, when we understand this, like, one of the example that comes to my mind is, um, see, here is the thing, like, what is the reciprocation of Lord and his devotee? So there was this one. I think it's UK's Prime Minister Gladstone, William Gladstone. He was there. Okay, so once many people had come to meet him. Okay, so his secretary said, okay, so actually right now he's very busy, but we want to meet him urgently. No, no, he's very busy right now, so he cannot meet you right now. So somehow, like, okay, these people were waiting, and somehow Gladstone's, no, they were right at the set outside his room, and somehow his door was slightly open, and they thought, okay, let's see what Mr. Gladstone is doing. So they peeked from inside, and they saw that, okay, Mr. Gladstone, okay, he's trying to become a horse for his little child, trying to give him a ride, like, okay, trying to his crawl on his hands and feet, like, okay, and giving a ride to his child. He's he's busy with his child, okay. He's trying to give him attention. Now, see, this is something very, very crucial to understand. These examples, everyone was waiting, but he was with his child. So this is the relation. If we understand, it will make us. This is how Krishna appears to his devotees. For him, he is the internal person. And the outside world, he's like, okay, whatever they are coming up with, like, okay, he will address them, but then, okay, he is always available to his internal devotees. That is the nature of the Lord. And for the outside world, he is Lord of universe, but for his devotees, he is the Bhaktavatsal Lord Krishna. He becomes subordinate to his devotee. We are seeing by the example of Arjuna. So he appears by his he appears by his sweet will. Some people thought, okay, Krishna was born. He's uh, he's unborn, and he appears by his sweet will, and he goes away from this planet also by his sweet will, and he comes here for a purpose. So we'll understand what these are actually. So the next thing, so we went through these. uh, there is something that we have to understand. We should never try to twist the actual meaning, because there are many Bhagavad Gita. I had one, like, which is Amazon's most highly sold. Someone sent me a gift around that, but it had a lot of allegorical meanings. That, okay, oh, where this bhumi is, where the mind, wherever we are saying Krishna, it is not Krishna, but the impersonal thing within our heart. Okay, on the bhumi means this, that means that. We don't have to interpret anything. So that is why Prabhupada had to bring this Bhagavad Gita as it is, so that, okay, as it has been, as Krishna wanted to, as in the same mood as Arjuna accepted it, Prabhupada is presenting us for our benefit. So, so such misinterpretations, they will not really help us in any way. They have no potency as such. So they when we go through this Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, we can understand what kind of potency it had. Within 4 to 5 years after Srila Prabhupada presented it in US, there was an explosion of people, and so many millions of people worldwide are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They are reading this Bhagavad Gita. There are people like who never heard of Krishna. They are taking up to this process because that is the power of the potency that comes through the parampara. So, uh, so this when it is presented as it is at that time, like, okay, it has the potency. And there is one thing, like, okay, we wanted to we want to talk about, that is the bhumi. Okay, the real now we know that, okay, um, let me just see here. Okay, I think I missed that particular slide here. So in bhumi, you can see, um, no one talks about the battle of Panipat on a, no one talks about the Battle of Panipat, but we are most interested in that place where this historical event, the war between the where this Bhagavad Gita was spoken, Kurukshetra. It is a very very holy place, and if you have, I don't know if you heard, but there is a Dr. Rao who have um, several years back I heard this. Um that he did some research to find out that underneath the ocean, the Indian Ocean, there is the kingdom of Dwarka, which is found submerged in that ocean, and that kingdom is still out there. So it is still found, like, by research, and it even if you go to Google, you can see those. There are videos of that. It shows that. So that is how it proves the authenticity of what has happened. And when they go back, they can, through the science, they can go back and trace to what is the period. It comes to around the same time, like 5,000 years back, like when this was actually spoken. So that is the power of the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to understand what is this, uh, what is the goal of this Bhagavad Gita. This it says that, okay, basically when we are trying to understand the goal of Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand that we should keep Krishna in the center, not any other subject. Okay, Krishna is the central point, so it cannot be understood without the reference of Krishna as such. So, with that being said, I want to ask if there is any question, and if there is no question, then I want to touch one last point actually. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Okay, I want to touch upon this one last thing. We will take this one last thing and then we'll stop here. What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Please listen to this very, very carefully. So the so in this world, everyone is full of anxiety, okay, because of different material conditions. And the purpose of this Bhagavad Gita is to understand, make proper inquiries, okay, because there are different people who are suffering with different things, and uh, we have to ask, okay, why am I suffering? And what is the next thing? Because if you look at it, we're always trying to resolve our problems. Even if we fall sick, we're trying to resolve our problems by we want to alleviate things. At least we want to, if we cannot eliminate our problem, we want to reduce our problems. So these are proper inquiries, like, okay, that why am I suffering in this world? If you the um, if we go to a doctor also, we are going there to understand how can I get rid of these things. So these things we should ask, and the goal is to understand, like, okay, how do we, because as long as we are focused on this goal, like, okay, how do I actually come like how do I actually alleviate my pains, like, okay, how do I come out of this suffering, and what is, where do I go after this life? Because if these are the kind of questions, then that person becomes eligible to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so the goal is very important, because if you take a football match, like, okay, if if, if in the football match someone says, okay, oh, there is no goal post, like, okay, you can put it anywhere and the whole world is just play anywhere, then I mean there is no fun in that. But as once our goal is very clear, once we are spearheaded towards, like, which way we are going, then in that case we will we will be in the right track. So with that being said, like, okay, I will stop here, and if there are any questions, we can take it, any comments. And I want to be very, very focused as we move further into this Bhagavad Gita. I would request everyone, like those who do not have Bhagavad Gita, because I know some of you are here and some of you watch the videos, get a copy of this Bhagavad Gita from your nearest ISKCON temple, and then you can start join to studying. And for those who attend online, if you have any questions, you can ask me now, or if you do not have any questions, then we can. If you feel that you have a question later, and you can always ask, you can privately message me, or you can also send on the group. If you send on the group, if this is anything related to your personal thing, then you can send it privately. But if you think others will also benefit by this question, then you can send it to the group. So with that being said, I'll stop here. Any questions or any comments, then we can take it from here. Let me just go back and see everyone. Okay. Hare Krishna. Was this understandable? Is the pace okay? Uh, is there anything that anyone has any comment or any questions? Was it too fast?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, it's nice. Like the it's it's not fast. It is very easy and clearly explained, Prabhuji. Like I can understand everything very nice and clear. Like it was like what to say. I have not understood this much better before. Like it's very very clear, Prabhuji. Thanks for the session.
Hare Krishna. It is all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Senior Brother Radheshan Prabhu who put together this one. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyone else has any questions or comment? Yes. Baba. Yes, you can unmute and say. It's my father has a question. Yes. You can unmute and say.
Okay, it's a nice class. Only thing I want to know that what is the meaning of Mahajan?
Mahajan. Okay. Mahajan means, okay, Jan means person and Maha means great. Mahajan means great personality. Okay. This is this is the greatest personality. They are uh, in Bhakti, these 12 Mahajans are the greatest personalities who are embodiment of devotion. And that is why um, it is said Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta, which means if we follow these personalities, then in their footsteps, we cannot imitate them. But if we follow in their footsteps, then in that case, we can, and we should pray to them so that we get bhakti. I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you had? Okay. Anyone else has any question or comment or any suggestions? Okay, with I see. Oh, I see Sushmita Mataji also here. Was it was the pace okay? Okay. Vatsal Prabhu, was it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. The pace was perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I heard some voice. And okay. Then if there are no other questions, Lalu Kaku, was it okay? I know some of these topics we may have repeated, but then okay, Hare Krishna. I think that is Rehan's. Okay, so I was just asking. I'll just mute everyone. So I was just asking, like, okay, maybe we may have repeated some of the things, but it was essential so that, like, okay, whatever we have covered in the fundamentals earlier for the 16 to 24 sessions initially that we did, I was just trying to bring those together so that, like, we are able to relate with whatever we already covered, and then as we move further, there'll be more topics that will come in, and we'll. So was this fine? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. All right then. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Wish you all a very wonderful week
Hare
ahead.
Krishna. Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. May you all have a very wonderful week. Krishna conscious wonderful week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.